much, Mr. Allen. And Mr. O'Halloran from Arizona is recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Madam Chair and Ranking Member. I'd like to thank all the firefighters on the line who have done so much to keep communities across the West safe this summer. The tireless work of those on the line at the Telegraph and Raphael fires in my district saved communities in Arizona, and I want to express my gratitude to them. However, I would be remiss if I did not mention the other important lesson from these fires. Areas that were previously treated or burned are less susceptible to severe fire. But more significant is they become susceptible to flooding into nearby communities and streams. That brings me to the Forest Service's decision to cancel Phase 2 contract for the Forest Restoration Initiative, FORFRI. I'm deeply disappointed that after 11 amendments in nearly 2 years, there is no clear indication when we are going to get Phase 2 off the ground. Chief Moore, I thank you for your willingness to quickly engage on FORFRI in the conversation we had last week with some of your deputy chiefs. I'm hopeful that the administration is now engaged in the issue, and I expect our offices will stay in close contact over the coming weeks to ensure that this gets done quickly. We also need to remember that while the Forest Service has seen decades of diminishing amount of personnel dedicated to management of the forest, I've seen this ongoing now for 21 years of my life in public service, both in the legislature in Arizona and in Congress. Thankfully, in the last 2 years, because of members on this committee, we were able to get some changes done, and hopefully we'll continue to move in the right direction. But I think it's really, we have to make sure the public fully understands this is not a 10-year commitment. This can't be a 20-year commitment. This has to be a commitment that we keep both our communities protected during times of fire, but make sure we don't allow fires to get into the catastrophic conditions that they have been in at one time in Arizona. Wally Covington, a forest expert, world-renowned actually, Wally said a fire in Arizona at 25,000 acres would be a big fire. Now we almost pray for a 25,000 acre fire. So with that, Chief, I'd like to ask you, and thank you again, what is the timeline for issuing a new RFP for FORFRI?
Thank you, Congressman Halloran. You know, I understand that many Arizonans and the Arizona businesses were really counting on the award of this large-scale FORFRI project. And I understand how disappointed they are over it as well. I need you to know that I'm disappointed too. You know, I've talked with the regional foresters and I've also talked with the evaluation panel, and I understand the decision that they made. And I think it was the right decision considering what the potential outcomes could have been. I do want you to know, though, that I am committed to getting this proposal back out very soon, and certainly in a much quicker fashion than we did the first time around. So I will pay personal attention to getting that out ASAP, and I would say that we'll be following up with you so that you, as well as all Arizonans, know the status of the project, of the proposal.
I want to thank you for that, Chief Moore. How are you going to be working with the stakeholders in the FORFRI stakeholder group to show that the Forest Service is committed to the success of FORFRI and to rebuild trust? As a group, we started in the middle of the last 2 decades ago now to start FORFRI with the help of the Forest Service and environmentalists and ranchers and farmers and every one of the stakeholders out there. It moved along over the course of a couple of years and then it hit a brick wall. How are we going to make sure that we're not going to hit that brick wall again and that the stakeholders are going to have input into the process?
You know, Congressman, you know, through disappointment, trust is what erodes. And, you know, our word may not be as important or as valuable as our actions. And so I'm willing to demonstrate through action that the Forest Service is trustworthy. And we're going to do that by demonstrating that we can get this project done, but we're also going to engage the community in this project so that it becomes ours, not mine, if that makes sense. So we want to do this collaboratively to the extent that we can, and we're committed to that.
Thank you, Chief, and I have to yield now. My time is up. Thank you.